important iteration, man. Keep in mind,
Exactly. Yeah.
like these things, I've seen stuff where like just adding visual effect, like a particle running against something is like 20% CPI decrease and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Like these small adjustments can be very big differences in scale. Ooh, Ice Snake.
The Pocket Necromancer, where I just put fires in ice, and that one change improved the numbers by far.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
This is a no bullshit gaming show where we talk about games and their revenue in great detail, powered by our ad monetization, game design, and user acquisition triple threat expertise. Welcome to the 2.5 Gamers, the unfiltered truth served with a side of giggles. Let's not forget this is a 4 a.m. conference discussion vibe, so let's not take it too seriously. Tune in now and stay 2.5 steps ahead of the gaming industry.
Merry Christmas to us all, to us all, for you all. Merry Christmas, Jakub.
Oh my God, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. My name is Matej Lančarič.
I'm Santa Claus.
And we are your hosts. And you can see which season it is because Jakub already brought his fake background. And also Felix is in Sweden, which means terrible internet connection. So there you go.
Anyway, third world country.
Before we start, I hope you watched the episode about merch. Oh, not merch. Well, even merch episode, but now match-free episode actually. So if you didn't, go get some snacks, coffee, because it's 2 hours and 40 minutes long,
and it's very good.
It's very good. It's the most comprehensive stuff that you can find on the internet, really updated for the recent numbers and all the games. But today we are here to discuss trends, creative trends, and all the fun. Felix?
Can I say one thing before we get started? Because this is probably actually one of the most actionable episodes that we do. And we know that you dear listeners are not always in English-speaking geographies, which is why 2.5 Gamers have addressed this issue. If you are a Russian speaker, a Turkish speaker, a Chinese speaker, Japanese or Vietnamese, go down and check out our 2.5 Gamers subtitles to help you stay 2.5 steps ahead of the gaming industry.
Very good. Wow, nice.
Yeah, man, you should work in the subtitle selling company.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the previous job Felix had. Anyway, okay. We might get Swedish subtitles as well. Oh no.
Everyone in Sweden speaks English.
Fair. That's fair. I did see some Finnish subtitles, by the way. So in the mix. So I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's start with the creative trends. Where should we go? Actually, what do you want to see? I will show you. Since we discussed this match-free episode last time, I'm going to share one interesting thing which we didn't cover in the episode, which is Fishdom. Because we were kind of going through the history and then just jumped straight into the Royal Match and Royal Kingdom. But here we have an interesting thing, which I found out.
No,
look what we have.
Dogs again.
It's Nemo. Oh,
wow.
Oh, that's a great
right off the bat.
That, my dear listeners and my co-host, was absolutely amazing.
Again,
and
one more time, please.
One more time.
Look, Apocalypse.
It has basically everything. You see like the shark in the background, the trampoline, the slingshot, everything.
The near death experience.
The sharks jumping out of the water, and then bam, the numbers game. This is just beautiful, and it's 1 minute long video. So, and we have the fail. So we have basically everything. It's beautiful. And when I was talking about a royal match getting to Evony for inspiration, I think we can see where Playrix is getting the inspiration from. It's the only thing is they're kind of combining the two or three same videos all over again, but still we can see it's now Evony King royal match and then everybody else. So it's then we have we saw this before, so this is it. And then we have something else, which is still, this is also actually in King Candy Crush. Like how many levels?
UGC stuff.
UGC and how many levels the Fishdom has. So nothing groundbreaking. Well, let's see this one. Ooh, jeez, ice. Ooh, nice.
nice start.
Yeah, nice start. Nice. Where do we see the ice and winter? I wonder. Is it another 4X? Maybe not. Okay, we can actually go there and check the actual freezing. It's not families, but it's our dear friends from Whiteout Survival. And tell me, guys, what is this? What does this remind you?
My Perfect Hotel.
Kind of.
Mm.
And what else? Come on, guys.
Yeah,
I want to say Nexters.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, this is Hero Wars. This is absolutely
Hero
Hero
Wars.
Wars. Yeah. Hero Wars 3D numbers game, everything. There you go.
Can you estimate roughly what you think it has just been what you think they've spent on this creative?
Well, it's live 19 days, so it's not a lot yet. This is all what we are talking about now. It's usually the fresh out of the oven, so most probably not that much, and it's live for a couple of days. So again, you see here, it's all the idle lumber type of stuff that we discussed before, and they're using it now, and it's really 19 days out. So yeah, the impressions are quite low still, but since this is there, I'm pretty sure they're kind of experimenting with different stuff. And we saw these logs and wood before in the previous episode as well, so it's still happening. And you check this creative, and I don't think you would ever expect 4X game. Most probably.
I thought that was a Playrix outfit when I was watching it, but it's actually Whiteout Survival.
Yeah, we already switched to Whiteout Survival, my friend, because they are kind of using the types of hooks, not hooks, but the types of very similar to Township actually, which I'm not sure why, but I guess that kind of works.
Zombie humans?
It's kind of not zombies. It's just they're freezing to death, basically.
Well, it's just normal emotional play there.
Yeah. Normal emotion play. And then, but this is guys, this. Oh, this creative is awesome. Look, let's watch it let's watch it the whole time.
But this is the first time this is from first person.
Yeah, it's actually
behind his back, basically.
Yeah. And it's also a kind of story driven. Look at this. This is just the story there is amazing. I was looking into this and I was like, wow, okay, wait. So look at this. How
I think this they never use this enemy camp thing.
Exactly. But look at this. He just sent him.
He just aggroed the bear so he would destroy their enemies.
Exactly. He just sent him to death, and there's another guy who just died.
Wow.
I was like, what is happening? And this is such a great story. Then I was like, wow, okay, so he's an anime
character.
Oh, geez. Wow, it's so good. I was like, okay, this is getting better and better. Because then we have also these hooks. Look, so it's
first person.
You know what that is?
Again,
You know what that was? That's the flamethrower that Elon Musk came out with for the Boring Company.
That's exactly the same shape. That's Overwatch, basically mace freezing.
No, go back. Dude, that's the It's the
It's the-
flamethrower that Elon Musk sold online.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Well, trends and then the hype for whatever it takes to just drive the CPIs down. Oh my god. Yeah, but it's always quite interesting to see what these guys are doing, and then heads off to heaven, because coming up with all of these different hooks, ideas, stories, and like how to sacrifice your main teammate basically just to conquer their like base. That's brutal. And we have also obviously Ebony, and I think we should. This is quite old still, but I think we should.
You've seen this before, I think.
No sharks. Yeah, no sharks. And now they're
Math
kind
problem.
of coming to. Yeah,
Oh,
but
don't
here,
divide.
yeah, they're the
gate
logs.
merged with the log.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's quite advanced now. Like the gates, and there's the alligator right there. Obviously, I was just talking about Ebony and how they were using a lot of pull the pin, but then they actually saw how Total Battle is killing it. And Total Battle is the game that we talked about, which is 4X, and they're using kind of the gates, but it's more of a like math problem rather than just gates, because those like math kind of not questions, but the numbers are on the floor basically. It's not the gates, but there was that, and then Ebony came to this, and then Last War was released. So it's not exactly like always we think it is, but this is.
So what's your theory now? Like, who starts these trends that everyone copies in a couple of days? Because like who's the first point? What's your guess?
So my guess is different company for different concepts. So as I said, now it's for Total Battle was I think the first that didn't really came up with the gates, but they started this numbers game in this kind of concept. Then Ebony came up with the barrels with numbers, and then when Last War launched in December 2023, they also didn't have the gates yet. But then they started using the gates as a first kind of iteration, and since then everybody started copying it. Everybody basically. So it's when you talk about trends and who's copying who, again, Royal Match is going for inspiration to Ebony always. Ebony now copies basically Last War and all of these like different things, like this creative, this gate, which is you are shooting in the creative and then the number changes. That's coming from Last War. Because then you kind of change the whole gate from negative to positive number, and that's the first time that we saw that. It was with Last War, I'm pretty sure. So, and then Whiteout is coming to, let's say, maybe Township, Idle Lumber, maybe Golden Goblins as well, and Township is coming to Idle Lumber and Golden Goblins as well. So it's if you we had this 4X Revolution kind of thumbnail where there was this famous person who was trying to find out like who is who and what the web of different conspiracies. Like this is exactly like I would need to put it on the whole like board and see like this is connecting this and that came. So but
if you work in a creative team, let us know.
Yeah. Also, Jakub mentioned it last time. Everybody's going to 4X. For match 3, everybody's going to 4X because they're in the same position. They need to basically acquire all the players for the lowest cost possible, and this is basically the whole
the strategy
behind it.
Every single genre on big scale will start to use.
Yeah. And I will maybe every single genre also merch. How is this merch? It looks like
tile match.
Tile match. Yeah.
It's exactly. So we always talk about different genres. This is exactly what we are talking about because all the games, and this is also not really your traditional merch.
Yeah, there's a line.
Exactly.
Line match.
And merge games and other games, they just borrow these mechanics just to get different players. And now we are just merging, but it's 1 minute long video. We are watching 35 seconds, and already in 35 seconds you basically saw 3 different creatives and 3 different mechanics in there.
Yep.
So
I got so triggered by that ad. Like that fail, I was so annoyed at watching that person play in a fail.
Look,
I guess that's the point.
Also, that's the point exactly. That's the point. And look, where did we see it's like all these
royal match?
Yeah,
royal match, near-death experience.
There's nothing to kill here.
Nothing to kill here, but like the blades and all this, like it's coming again. I have this feeling which is very much connected to urgent. Like it's again Forex. All this saw like we saw it in Whiteout Survival. It's just that the beauty part of all of this is how you can actually adapt different concepts to whatever your game is about. Because here it's the same thing, right? Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, just landscape format, so it's same. But yeah, you see, like, oh my god, I need to merge. But this is they already did the same thing, or I think it was triple tile or triple match. They did the same thing, but it was the old lady which actually was trying to get to the toilet. But, so yeah, here we are. So and also we have the Kylie Jenner again, or still.
You're still running the same ad though.
See, I think this is slightly different hook though, because it's quite old, and I think it was a little bit different. Yeah, once I clear my board, it's just so satisfying. I don't think she was saying this before, but anyway. So it's again different genres. Thank you very much. But you know what's always the same in last year?
Mm-hmm.
Drama. It's just exactly like if they haven't changed. It's disgusting. Like, seriously disgusting.
Why? By the way, why is it snowing behind the door?
Exactly.
But not
on
against
the right
window.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, and this just whatever that shape was. That's the first thing. The second thing, just to like pin exactly like again, like what the fuck is this?
Physics has left the room.
Yeah, exactly. It has left the room. It went to Royal Match Creatives. It doesn't really have to be in here. Nothing has to make sense. So yeah, it's again nothing. I mean, again, nothing. Yeah, like you said, like nothing has to make sense. Usually, when you are out in the snow, you are trying to slice the rotten tomato,
frozen hand,
your frozen hand, on a pan. Which, I mean, yeah, it's kind of, I know I can see like those emotions there, but for us it's ridiculous because we work in the gaming space and we know like this is bullshit. I guess for the others, again, like what is this shape again? It's just, anyway, it's absolutely
unsolvable pin puzzle.
Pull the pin, and that's the same thing all over again. And this didn't change, right? So it's like this for a while. So I'm not sure like what's happening with the gaming industry. No, it's not gaming industry. It's just
it's human emotions. Man.
It's human emotions. Yeah, human emotions. It's all about emotions, of course. Like you have these freezing families, and emotions. You want to save this. You don't want to see children to just freeze to death or just die in the well or whatever this is. So yeah.
But this is new, to be honest. Like this,
is new.
This is new.
Unsolvable pin puzzle is new. I don't think so.
Because you're kind of looking like, how would I solve this? And even though I think these creatives are bullshit, I'm still looking at it. How would I do this?
Yeah, exactly.
It's unsolvable.
And I think again, and maybe this is a stretch a little bit, but this is coming from Evony, because Evony was really the one game that implemented pull the pins in the game, but it was really hard. It was like, let's just solve this in a second. It was really hard. It was actually about the puzzles.
Was that
So
Evony
that's-
that first did it? Like the first one?
Evony put in the game really hard pull the pins puzzles. I was playing the game, I think like a year and something ago, because they started doing the barrels with numbers in October 2023, and I think I played it before, and I was because I wanted to just kind of write about it, and it wasn't really that exciting, but I played the game, and there was all the pins, and I think I was in the first 5 minutes of the game, and it was really hard. It was really hard. So I think they just implemented this in the creatives because that works, in my opinion. And again, my dear co-hosts, what do you think is this?
This is Rush Royal?
It is, but where is this coming from?
Oh, hello, Doodle Magic.
Hello, Delta Magic, yes. Because I think we didn't really check the Rush Royale for a while, and I know they were using some level of gates and different creatives, and even the snake that I talked about in my LinkedIn post last week, and I just started looking into it and it's like, I know where's this coming from. They changed the whole creative strategy to skeletons. Basically, they're running skeletons all the time, and they're merging these different elements, elementals.
Oh, skeleton snake. There we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Skeleton spinning cartilage snake.
Yeah, whatever that is, exactly. And now look, see, Mecha God. So you have all these.
What?
What's happening?
Partnership.
Partnership. Okay.
Partnership puzzle.
Partnership puzzle. There you go. Okay. Yeah, but now they're kind of combining all the different elements there, and then that's it. And it's quite. I mean,
It's kind of
I'm
same,
watching this
but different. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But still,
it's very important iteration, man. Keep in mind,
exactly. Yeah.
like these things. I've seen stuff where like just adding visual effect, like a particle running against something, is like 20% CPI decrease and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Like these small adjustments can be very big differences in scale.
Oh, maybe I will find what I did with one thing, but I don't think I can find it here, because I had
Ice Snake,
the Pocket Necromancer, where I just put fires in ice, and that one change improved the numbers by far.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. So maybe I can find it somewhere. Because that was just brutal.
That's how this whole creative business works. That's why you need so many iterations, because you never know. And there's no rule set for like, if you do this, it will decrease by 20%. Just need to test everything.
Yeah, that was the case, I think, some time ago, because of Voodoo and all the hyper casual stuff.
Speaking of which, will we also be looking at some Voodoo creatives?
We'll see. So I found it in here. So 1 second. So you see. So this is basically
Wall of Text Creative.
Wall of Text Creative, obviously, because it's coming from. But look, this was already a winner, and I just this is what I did.
The improvement. Yep.
This is the improvement. That's it. Fire in the eyes, like whoa, and it changed the CPIs dramatically.
How much? How much?
By 40%.
What?
Seriously?
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Humanity.
I'm not joking. But it makes all the sense, because you watch this and it just adds up on the atmosphere there. It's like you're trying to read.
Soul.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to read the text, and suddenly there's just flames out of those. I was like, whoa. He goes, oh, this is great. So it keeps the tension still going. So yeah, these kind of like small changes can change so much. Right. we kind of discussed this recently on the previous episode. So I just wanna
Ooh.
add this because we were kind of tough
This
on
doesn't look like anything else, right? Would you even argue this is a bit aged, perhaps?
aged.
Like this type of creative that you'd see maybe 2-3 years ago?
It's quite new.
Okay. No, but if it's
It's
new,
like-
but the actual creative content.
Oh, it's Candy Crush. What do you expect, man? It's you can't turn this into very fresh looking creative and content. You see, 2024 King. It's different from what we discussed in the previous match free episode, because we were talking about different hooks and then different gaming creatives and like where they're getting inspiration from the Royal Match, and they are still doing it. But I'm trying something else as well, and I think not in-game footage still. Hey,
That's nice.
yeah.
Wow.
Look, there's the race. So they're trying to experiment a lot with different things, and I kind of like it because I was always kind of bitching about how the creative strategy looks like for Candy Crush, because it's really, like you said, it felt really outdated. But now they're kind of looking into trends and trying different things because they have to.
They have to,
Because
otherwise
they
they're
have
going to
to.
get outspent by the competition.
Yeah. I mean, this is still kind of again like they can't really go real outside of what is
Brand
in the
guidelines
yeah,
says
exactly.
so.
yeah, exactly. So, but this is really refreshing.
But they're running the like near that situation thing
It
already.
yeah. It's one of
In
the
some
like
light and sense, let's say.
exactly. This is just like very new. They have different better performing creatives which are taking majority of the spend kind of near that experience. But here again, these guys are not really kind of, falling behind. Do you remember what we discussed kind of on the match 3 episode?
This
And
is
this
cool.
is again, this is really cool. This is physics, and we have this tube right there.
Puzzle.
It is a
Puzzle is
puzzle,
added
exactly.
into
It
the
is a
physics.
puzzle. So
It's new grain, right? Or is it like, it looks like
it's
grain?
sand. I think
Yeah.
it's sand or something.
The sand with very thick
Kind of
pieces.
Yeah. But look, you see how complex this is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I hope he makes it.
We'll see. I mean, it's 40 seconds, and
Why doesn't he just like let it be? Because then it will be,
exactly? He's just
raised
It's
against the
mobile.
wall.
exactly, yeah.
It's mobile.
Because,
It doesn't have to make sense, Jakob.
I know physics exited the room.
Yeah, if it left the room. But we have more. And look, I was really.
Are
Whoa.
these guys human
This is
beings,
coffee.
or do you think it's AI that comes up with this, or is it just a really good creative team? Because this is like a blender, coffee beans, and you said coffee has great CPIs. Like they must be just really plugged in, like the UA team and the creative team.
I mean, I think this is a combination,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
still don't see how AI is coming up with concepts like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see them like AI producing this, but I don't
No,
see
that-
like how.
AI still couldn't come with this concept because in this concept you can see the continuation and the history of their previous
exactly.
concept,
Yeah.
which is
Exactly.
not possible to still
Replicate with AI. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can feed the AI with the concepts and whatever else, but I don't think it's gonna. I can try. Actually, I will try it. I will try. What I'm gonna do, which is create kind of inspiration. I can feed the AI with the best performing creatives, trying to get it to analyze like why is it working, and then come up with different iterations, like what can actually perform well, what is trending, and just combine this with whatever I'm running at the moment. But you see,
Ooh.
yeah,
That's so high quality.
that's what I want to say. Super
wow.
polished.
It's
And again-
almost like that game has earned $1 billion in the last year. Oh wait.
Oh wait a second. Hey, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Well, So they're definitely not falling behind at all with the new concepts, and I see like they're iterating a lot of on this, and it's not Snake anymore that much. I have one other thing which is interesting. Look, we have this again, which we discussed.
It's just an iteration of what we keep seeing, right?
It's an iteration, but there's more. There is more. Oh, wait a second. There's this.
Whoa!
First person again. This is the third time we see it today.
Exactly. That's why I'm showing you this.
Huh.
So, and look at the models and how the whole art style looks like.
So basically, this is first person Township Resource Creative. Period.
Exactly.
That's
This looks like the South Park game on N64. In the first person shooter game.
I know what you mean. But only because of the blades.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this first person trend is great. I want more of it.
Yeah.
You know why?
Don't worry.
It's super hard to replicate. You need to build this in engine.
Exactly. It's engine, and this is basically all the same that we saw before. And we have guide buckle up. So I just want to be very mindful of you. Don't worry. This is just what we saw before. Because this is Hexasaur.
It's old, no?
It's old, but I'm getting there. I just want to be gentle.
Did Hexasaur just advertise as a no ads game? How dare they? The amount of innovation they've done on ads.
Yeah, we've seen this, and you remember what we discussed in the Match 3 episode. The matching games is not matching, the uploving, the makeover stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Close your eyes and tell me what you.
Here we go again.
Really? When I saw this, I was really not. I mean, I was surprised.
Freezing families with Hexasaur and then Hexa coins flying into them.
Exactly. So I was surprised, but then I wasn't surprised because I immediately thought, "Oh, wait a second, it's uploving." So like, you just combine all your knowledge basically, and then this is what you get. So,
where's this from? The lines. It's it's a game. I can't remember. It's from.
Game. It's a game. Yeah, it's.
That's gonna annoy me for so long. Yeah, it's like with lines. Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it.
I find it. We are just gonna now watch the whole creative. It's kind of satisfying. So, and they use this hook which they used before. It's all this kind of TikTok trend, here, there, whatever else, and yay! But those freezing families killed me quite a lot. So let's look at also the actual stuff which is again changing. Look at the iteration. Look at the
interesting.
Look. Stacking the gates. There's lock, obviously,
but there's this dead soldiers. You see that?
Yeah,
exactly. This was not there also.
It's all it feels like those are zombies.
And they killed the boss.
Yeah.
Oh,
first one.
First time ever they killed the big guy.
But there are more big guys coming, so don't get too excited. Don't get too excited because then I don't. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. This is.
I need to die.
Yeah.
It's scripted.
Of course, but you have the hope.
But this is the first time they killed him.
Yeah. It's look.
Oh, wow. So much iteration.
Exactly. And look at how
tires as well.
Tires, and how deep it was in the ground. Now they're kill it again. So you can get some hope.
They killed 3 bad guys already.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can get some hope. You can get some hope. Come on. And so, whoa. Oh, now. No, yeah, we're going to get killed. But it kind of builds on that suspense and the whole, would I make it? Oh, look, this is another iteration. There's a lady in here. Well, wait a second. It's on the barrel again. Oh, wow. We are ladies now. We have the shotgun. They are playing around with all of these different iterations a lot. I love it. It's great. I think what they... I mean, this is almost like what was it, the Mad Pocket Champs. I mean, it's kind of a stretch still because it's not swimming and climbing and whatever else, but it's it's different. It's different characters, and then the gates are kind of stacking up on each other. It's just wow. And also this one, you see how they go from or how they went from just straight road to now they're expanding. I think we saw 3 lines
a railway.
Now, yeah, there's a railway. It's different things now. Like, go take that. What a miss! What a miss on that game.
I could do better. Let me download and prove it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Let me download right away.
Let me ask you one thing, Matej.
Yeah.
So if your breadwinner starts to kind of slow down and pretty much stops working, you do
It's
some
already
of these.
too late.
Yeah, I know. But you do these magical iterations of like whatever that we are just like being wowed at. Then the effect resets, or like how does it work?
What do you mean the effect resets? If the
Do you
if
have
the
a new
iteration,
breadwinner like just
Yeah,
with
if
like
you- if-
these?
exactly. If you have the winning or like the new winner creative, it's gonna perform immediately, either in the same performance or even better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did with the Pocket Necromancer. I had this first like version 5. Since then, I made 6 or 7 more creatives. 5 of them were performing better than this one, and I'm actually getting spent on Facebook on all of those, which didn't happen before. I usually was stuck in that spiral of having one creative, which was getting 99% of spend. Now I have 7, which are spending equally, and that's what you want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So with this, also this,
And this then works again for like 1 to 2 months, and then goodbye.
Oh,
If you add a new one.
1 to 2 months. If 1 to 2 months, you are the lucky bastard. It's 1 to 2 weeks.
1 to 2 weeks. Okay.
I mean,
I guess
obviously
depending
there are
scale, blah blah
outliers.
blah.
Yeah,
factors.
exactly. Depends.
Depends, as usual.
Depends as usual.
Isn't that
But
one King creative that had been live for, was it 4 years? That we looked
exactly.
at?
Then we have outliers for sure. But then we have also different games. It kind of like you can't really compare King to a normal company. I don't want to say normal, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
It's different. You can't also compare Supercell to any other like small to mid-sized developer. It's just, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But let's look at what definitely works. Can you name the game?
Was
Block
Tetris
Blast?
or Block Blast, right? So either one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's watch. So you're looking. You're
White
so,
Hot Survival.
you're so fucking wrong. No. It's not White Hot Survival. It's a game that we discussed, and we discuss quite often.
Oh, it's Match Factory.
I was wondering like if you saw the Match Factory
If you
here,
played
but
Match Factory, that's not what the gameplay is at all.
look here, look
At this point, any
look.
creative.
Sh-
Oh wow.
Oh, Royal
no,
Match.
look.
They took inspiration from it.
Look, it's exactly the same button there with the strength. It's the same thing. Look,
Yeah.
it's exactly the same thing.
Oh,
This
the
is
Turks
big
hate when
now.
they steal from each other. They're gonna hate this.
I'm
Oh.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see,
Oh, even that was there.
yeah. I mean, oof. I need to play this. I can't let him die.
Already
So
dead.
Yeah, I know. This is their classic.
Is that a merge? Is that a merge? Like,
this is their classic, like super
Yeah.
old creative, and just like
This
it's
is
one
Codesmaster.
1 minute, 1 minute 30-second long. So it's basically 3 different creatives stitched together. We have this. Oh my god, have you seen my post about this creative and then the what Triple Match copied exactly the same? So I asked guys, who did it first? So Match Factory copied the whole game basically, but then Triple Match copied their creative. It was such an absurd story, and people are like, "Oh, the Triple Match 3D creative is so much more polished." Like, okay, nah, I mean, kind of yes, but yeah, this is coming from the other way around. This is nothing interesting. Just nothing interesting. Just plain gameplay. Which should be the creative, right? That should be the main creative. And then we have this sushi and Japanese music, which is quite new and quite nice. Okay, so we're gonna be almost at the end, but I wanted to just pick this up again because I think we didn't really pay so much attention to it. So going back to our old Dark War episode, they are doing this AI stuff on a weekly basis, a lot of this, and it's all about these boats or houses on the water, because that's the main kind of narrative. You know, people are fleeing to boats to houses on the water because zombies, they hate water. It's all about that. It's also, if you combine this with the actual sound and the voiceover, the whole
creatives. I've seen them quite
vibe.
a lot.
Yeah, the whole vibe is
Tell that to
it's
AI.
awesome. Yeah, tell it to AI. And this is also really nice.
What did they get inspiration from here?
Oh yeah,
Last of Us.
Last of Us up. Yeah, look, all these emotions there, like the small bear. Look at the reflection in the water. It's amazing. Wait, fuck. Okay, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all of this, everything made in AI. And look, so what do you...
Physics left the room again.
Physics left, yeah, nobody cares about physics here as well. So what do you actually see here? Tell me, what have you noticed in this creative? Like, why do you think it works? And did you pay attention to the creative the whole time?
Zombie apocalypse, right?
It creates very compelling atmosphere, the vibe.
Yes.
Because of all these detailed images and environments. And think of it, how many different images and stills this has compared to normal creative scenes. Normal creative, you have like 2 to 3 scenes at max.
Exactly.
This is like 20.
That was my point, because they are changing these scenes every 3 seconds to keep your attention span.
It's like an Instagram, Reels,
You know, where is this coming from? Do you remember where did we discuss this and with whom? All goes back to China and Stan conversation. Again. It's all the dopamines and everything. You watch this, you don't really want to lose the attention every 3 seconds. So it's like, you just want to watch this. Because every 3 seconds there is a new scene, and then you're expecting something to come again.
But keep in mind, this is again only possible by AI, because normally it would take you, guess how much more bandwidth to just create all of these. Like every 3 seconds, completely, fully, whatever, new scene, new video, new everything.
Yes, but then also if you just change the gameplay, it's not that interesting enough. I mean, you can have these different kind of close-ups, zooms, whatever else, maybe change of the levels.
But it's not as compelling as completely new image.
Exactly. So, yes, this is only possible with AI. And
this is Fun Plus.
Oi.
That's my favorite. Like these are flooding Facebook currently.
These are, because again, Dark War started something, and then the rest of the guys in 4X, they're not really sleeping. They're really paying attention, and they're paying attention heavily, because then this is just coming out of. And I saw, and I couldn't find it. I'm not sure who was it. I saw all the characters just running against the the camera. There was this different, like, what was it? Tiger.
Those like states with character
Exactly.
anthropomorphs.
Yeah. Exactly. And I
It was another Forex, I think.
Yeah, I know, but I can't remember the name. But yes, exactly. It was so eye-catching, and I really wanted to watch the whole stuff. So that's basically it from all the different trends. But I want to just show you one thing, which is going to suggest the next episode or the next segment that I was talking about a few weeks ago with you guys. So here's we have top creatives. And these are the top creatives with a lot of spend, or just not a lot of spend, but a share of impressions. This is Uplavin, for example. So we have on the first place, guess who? Hello.
Royal Match.
Royal Match, yeah, exactly. Royal Match US Uplavin. Thank you very much. And it's again this type of creative. Then we have Playrix with Fishdom. See? And then this is actually playable. So
that's very nice. And they have, by the way, these special levels.
Yeah, they have it. Then we have Match Factory and Royal Match again and Match Factory. So all of these, this is my favorite.
Wait,
friends
we need
from
to do some
from
stuff on cleanup, because these apps make so much money. Like, it's insane. I know you've been saying it. I know, I know you've been saying it, but yeah, we've been all talking about it.
Yeah. And also these are our friends from Turkey, Codeway. Look, this is interesting. What the hook?
A sign written on woman's back.
Yeah, what the hook? It's amazing. The creativity on this is just never ending. So yeah, I love it.
Mate?
Yep.
The game you're looking for is called Rise of Castles, Ice and Fire. It's
Ooh.
directly in their creative gallery. Just found it.
Rise of Castles. Ice.
Ooh.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
Whoa, this is another Forex. Obviously.
Of course.
Oh, shit.
Obviously. Let's see. Look. Oh, yeah.
Is your country?
Oh, yes. This is, and I saw, yeah. This is exactly what I want to say. This is perfect. So, but look, this is all AI. This is all AI.
It's all AI.
Look.
Norway.
There you go. There was Poland as well. Oh, USA. There you go. Wow.
Looks so good.
It looks so good. Yeah, exactly. And there was always like these bears and all these animals were just running against me. So hopefully
this is actually an evolution of that because you have a human and an animalized human.
Yeah.
The original we saw was only animalized humans.
Yeah. Mexico. Is there Sweden?
Where's Slovakia?
No, I don't. There was Poland. Yeah. Russia, of course. Like, what do you like? If we had Slovakia there, it would be just a person and then just running.
Borovička.
Exactly. Bottle of Borovička. Exactly. That's exactly what I want to say. Exactly. So,
but like, give me the screen, Mate.
Okay.
They have so much more stuff here.
Yeah. So the listeners, these are the trends. Actually, we are gonna see way more AI. But yeah.
No.
So that's the giant chicken lifting weights, turning to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No way! No way! This is so good.
Does this actually work? Like what?
Oh my god!
So it's working. There's more. Like
I'm this is kidding. So good.
So, because, as you know, and by the way, you should know...
Oh, did you see? He just stepped through the... Yeah, there's no physics. So AI.
As usual. But so you know that, like, last month, there were pretty new AI generation model introduced to the world, and now we're seeing the effects of it.
This is the effect, yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
And you know, the beauty part of this is because it's new, people want to watch this. It's beautiful. That's the thing. People just want to look at this and say, wow, because this is wow.
And you never saw these things because
Yeah.
they behave unnaturally. It's
Exactly.
because these
new.
models pretty much.
Look at the
it's
hair on the
new.
line there. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. It just creates images and motions that you never seen before because it doesn't make sense physically.
Yeah.
But I honestly, nobody cares.
No.
Yeah, no, nobody.
cares.
Actually, the thing is that because it's so unnatural, it's actually its most
That's what. That's why it works.
distinct factor. That's why it
Yeah,
works. See?
Exactly. Wow.
So-
yeah. Look,
Frostfang. Guys, can
Yeah,
you call me
there you go.
Frostfang from now on? No?
Will
All
do.
right.
We'll do. We'll do. We'll do. Of course, we'll do.
Yeah, we should
Yeah.
definitely do some kind of like best AI creative of the year or something.
Oh, we'll do. Oh, don't worry. We
There's
will.
so much
We'll
stuff.
do a lot of different stuff next year because what's happening now in the industry on the creative side, finally some innovation. Obviously, you can see a different use of of AI, but this is where we are going. Like,
Oh,
I
wow.
can-
This
I
is
can
really good
share-
quality, huh?
I can share one creative which we made for one merch game. It decreased the CPI by 70%
Hmm.
in the US. So the baseline was, I think, 120 or something, or 70% is not maybe the correct number. But it went from $120 to 35, I think.
Mhm.
So it's like what 40-50%. Yeah, more actually, 60%. Yeah,
130 to 30?
Yeah.
That's like multiple hundreds of percent.
yeah. There you go.
So
Oh, that's true. Actually, yeah.
this looks
so.
this looks really like piggybacking on the Gladiator 2
yeah,
uh,
absolutely.
like marketing. But yeah.
I hate,
Also
Yeah,
I
the-
okay,
hate to,
good.
yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but us three are wanted at another place very
Don't worry.
soon.
It's true. So hope you enjoyed the live AMA we are just gonna do in 5 minutes.
But by the time you hear this, it's already in the past.
Yeah, so you go and watch it. Thank you very much for listening. You should definitely go and check our Slack and join our Slack because that's where we. Oh my god, that's where we. Yeah, that's where we actually. I keep it for the AMA. Actually, I keep it for the AMA. We can check and laugh. And then please check the match-free episode. Comment, share also for this. Share it with your industry friends and family and everybody. Happy holidays. And see you next time. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye bye.